She's an eternal optimist, and she's always leaving me messages, hooping and hollering and saying, "Woo, life's just a bowl of cherries."
I'm not below compliments. That's what my mom always says. She's like, wants me to compliment her, and she's like, I'm not below compliments. I'm like, it's clear that you're not, because she's always soliciting.
She's an eternal optimist.
Which I think is like not fair, right?
Yeah, you're such a bad daughter.
Terrible daughter.
The courtroom had already seen its share of Hollywood theatrics, but nothing compared to the moment Judge Lehman's gavel slammed down in open fury. The packed gallery gasped as he read fresh filings that named Blake Lively's own mother.
She wanted me to share with you that she is a survivor of the worst crime someone can commit against a woman.
Cheerful, cherry voicemail leaving Eleanor Lively as the architect of a forged evidence campaign aimed at demolishing director Justin Baldoni. Reporters bolted for corridor Wi-Fi, while Blake's attorneys sat stunned, the polished PR shield around their client shattering on the spot. In a single heartbeat, the defamation circus mutated into a family conspiracy thriller, and every eye in that marble hall now hunted for the real story. Why would America's favorite stage mom risk prison to sabotage her daughter's nemesis? Little did anyone know.
But my mom, I think, is a very confident person, and so for me, yeah, I sort of like struggled with that because I've sometimes judged her for being so confident.
This detonation was merely the opening flare of a scandal that would consume careers, friendships, and a multi-million-dollar brand empire. Court clerks whispered, bailiffs stiffened, and a global audience leaned closer, hungry for answers. Rewind to early 2024 on the Atlanta set of the book-to-film tearjerker, It Ends With Us. Production halted overnight when Blake Lively accused co-star director Justin Baldoni of fostering a hostile environment and slipped a hush-hush complaint to studio brass. Baldoni hit back with a blistering $400 million civil extortion lawsuit, claiming Blake, husband Ryan Reynolds, and veteran publicist Leslie Sloane were running a smear machine to sink his career. Cameras stopped, crew scattered, and what began as a sweet romance drama morphed into Hollywood's costliest He Said, She Said. Insiders describe the set's final days as glass fragile, with NDAs replacing call sheets and security guards escorting USB drives like crown jewels. Yet even then, no one suspected a suburban grandmother in pastel cardigans was allegedly ghostwriting the venomous press leaks. The fuse was lit, but the real explosion waited far beyond the studio gates. Paparazzi camped outside trailers, sensing combustible drama none could yet define. Enter Eleanor Lively, long celebrated by Blake as the eternal optimist who survived unspeakable trauma and still sang voicemail pep talks about cherries and sunshine. Court documents, however, paint a darker portrait. A meticulous strategist who registered a shell email domain and drafted anonymous tips accusing Baldoni of misconduct. The operation carried a melodramatic codename, Redemption, and allegedly included metadata tampering on rehearsal videos, forged call sheets, and leaked monologues timed to hijack feminist blog cycles. Crew members say Eleanor dangled gift card bribes and, when that failed, blackmailed an assistant over immigration paperwork to secure perjured testimony. Friends recall her suddenly studying SEO trends and defamation case law over brunch, claiming she was helping Blake find her voice. In truth, she was building a digital labyrinth designed to trap Baldoni and exalt her daughter as a wronged heroine.
It's not for us to have shame. It's for them.
The mother-daughter bond had quietly shape-shifted into a high-stakes covert partnership.
She's an eternal optimist.
Every click was calculated. Justin Baldoni's counsel, Brian Friedman, has a reputation for turning litigation into spectacle, and he saw Eleanor's fingerprints as an invitation. In a televised press scrum, he proposed hauling Blake into a live deposition at Madison Square Garden, complete with ticket sales, pay-per-view streaming, and every dollar donated to domestic violence survivors. The audacious challenge flipped Blake's empowerment brand on its head. If truth was her mission, why fear lights, cameras, and 20,000 spectators? Social media erupted. Mock tour posters reading "Deposition Tour 2025" trended within hours. Blake's lawyers condemned the idea as theatrical harassment, but fans smelled hypocrisy after years of magazine monologues about transparency. Suddenly, the actress who curated vulnerable essays for Vogue looked evasive, and Eleanor's covert plan was dragged into floodlights. Friedman hadn't just called their bluff, he'd monetized it, weaponizing public curiosity against Hollywood Polish. Overnight, ticket microsites crashed, proving scandal sells faster than blockbuster premieres around globe. The PR tsunami hit mainstream media first. Seth Meyers' digital team quietly disabled comments on Blake's heartfelt late-night interview after thousands accused her of weaponizing trauma.
Which I think is like not fair, right?
Yeah, you're such a bad daughter.
Terrible daughter.
People magazine edited its puff profile 3 times, scrubbing glowing adjectives like a forensic cleanup. Then the retail dominoes fell. Blake Brown, once projected to break 9 figures, cratered by more than half within 2 quarters. Buyers cited brand liability rather than product quality. Beauty shelves relegated her skincare rollouts to clearance end caps, while over 40 national retailers yanked upcoming displays without press releases, a silent boycott louder than any headline. Carnival cruise ships trial selling her sparkling cocktails reported inventory left untouched by captive tourists. Marketing analysts blamed one force: the Swiftie freeze-out. Once Taylor's fandom declared Blake radioactive, casual consumers followed, proving social currency can evaporate faster than stock options. Reputation, it turned out, was the real product at risk. Sales charts bled. Behind that retail collapse lurked an allegation so explosive it eclipsed the lawsuit itself.
She wanted me to share with you that she is a survivor of the worst crime someone can commit against a woman.
Blake had supposedly threatened to leak 10 years of private text messages if Taylor Swift refused public backing. The claim surfaced via Puck. Sources said Taylor's father, Scott Swift, delivered screenshots to Friedman, neutralizing the black appeal before it detonated. Swift's inner circle fell silent, a sure signal something was rotten. Within days, longtime brunch buddies Gigi Hadid, Cara Delevingne, and Sophie Turner ghosted Blake, unfollowing her socials with surgical precision. Hashtags #WeStandWithTaylor and #BuyBlake racked up millions of views, and e-commerce trackers logged a sudden 78% plunge in Blake Brown's conversion rates. PR gurus whispered that crossing Taylor is career quicksand. Blake now felt the suction. Worse, the text hinted at bigger manipulations, indicating Eleanor pushed the threat, believing celebrity leverage trumped friendship. The gamble backfired spectacularly.
My mom never got justice from her work acquaintance who attempted to take her life when she was the mother of 3 young kids years before I was born. She has always credited her beating heart today with the story she heard from another woman in a similar circumstance.
Even loyal stylists declined references. Silence spoke volumes worldwide. Ryan Reynolds, usually a Teflon crowd pleaser, couldn't dodge collateral fallout. Baldoni's countersuit alleges Reynolds leveraged Disney animation resources to craft Nice Pool, a soft-spoken villain strongly resembling Baldoni, in a 2022 Disney Plus short. Emails subpoenaed from Pixar storyboards allegedly referenced Justin-type antagonist notes, undermining claims Ryan was uninvolved. Meanwhile, tabloids sniffed marital strain. Sources said separation attorneys are on standby as Ryan questions how deep Blake's plot ran. Judge Lehman mocked defense filings that dismissed celebrity relevance while simultaneously name-dropping Reynolds in magazine spreads. The irony landed like a gavel. You can't weaponize fame and then beg the court to ignore it. Disney, sensing risk, reportedly paused renewal talks on an upcoming Reynolds project. For a couple once seen as Hollywood's happiest, the optics flipped overnight from charming banter to uneasy silence, punctuated by lawyerly statements instead of witty tweets. Brand deals vanished, and paparazzi lenses lingered. Tension crackled. Beneath headline theatrics, the court docket swelled with 12 unresolved motions, sanctions over discovery delays, forensic phone dumps, and 3 advocacy amicus briefs filed months late, moves Friedman called PR press releases in legal drag. When the judge demanded hard proof of Blake's most vivid accusations, like the infamous cow insult, security footage showed nothing but routine stunt coordination chatter about safe lifting weights. No yelling, no slurs, just professionals tracking kilograms. Set accounting logs similarly destroyed claims of unpaid overtime. As facts vaporized, Blake's filings leaned on nebulous feelings of targeted vibes, leaving the court hungry for substance. Stephanie Jones, Blake's PR bulldog, threatened YouTubers for reporting publicly available transcripts, only to misquote her own legal history. Observers started branding the saga Hollywood litigation theater. Expensive sets, flimsy script. Each evidentiary void pulled Eleanor's machinations tighter into focus, suggesting orchestration rather than victimhood. Judges loathe narrative without proof, and patience thinned visibly each hearing. Now the scariest spotlight swivels toward Eleanor herself. Leaked exhibits reportedly tie her personal laptop to timestamp alterations on rehearsal files, plus encrypted chats arranging witness scripts. Prosecutors are quietly reviewing obstruction and conspiracy referrals, insiders say, weighing whether to indict the mom who styled herself as Blake's guardian angel. If charges land, the courtroom narrative mutates from messy civil dispute to potential criminal saga, dragging Blake from plaintiff to possible co-conspirator. Even stalwart fans struggle with the optics. Maternal love twisted into illegal sabotage. Observers recall Lori Loughlin's college scam downfall, warning that juries recoil when parental devotion crosses legal lines. Blake's team has already distanced themselves, spinning statements about respecting the process. Yet gossip persists that she knew far more than she admits. Should Eleanor face cuffs? Hollywood will ask a brutal question. Was this whole fiasco truly about justice or a family's obsession with perfect image? Truth threatens. Blake Lively entered this battle convinced she could script reality, casting herself as brave advocate, Justin Baldoni as abuser, and public sympathy as a guaranteed co-star. Instead, spectators watched the plot twist into a cautionary epic about hubris, influencer culture, and the unforeseen cost of weaponized storytelling. Brands cratered, friendships imploded, and even her marriage to Ryan Reynolds wobbles on a knife point of doubt. At the saga's molten core stands Eleanor, the proud mom whose cherry-bright optimism masked an alleged talent for blackmail and digital forgery. Whether prosecutors level charges or not, the damage is done. Trust shattered, businesses bleeding, and Blake's once golden image scorched beyond easy rebrand. If celebrity power hinges on authenticity, this spectacle exposed a facade held together by press releases and fear. Viewers must decide, applaud the unraveling or learn from it. Either way, stay tuned because the next subpoena may rewrite Hollywood myth yet again. Accountability awaits.